Welcome to the ARC2 radio frequency remote controller by Astera. Once you get your remote control, you would insert two AA batteries in the back, like so, and we would go ahead and close up the cover, and we would begin our programming. The first thing we always want to do is we want to hit the home button, and the home takes us to direct control. Now you see the white buttons here. We have fade, speed, we have intensity, we have program, then we have C1, C2, C3, C4, then we have the power button, target lamp, send, and our home. At the top we have our back button and also our tap sync if we want to control lights to the beat of the music, then our plus and minus variables, and then also our enter button here at the top. So the first thing we're going to do when we get the remote is we're going to go into home direct control. Now home direct control means that these white buttons are already active. So if I go into program, you see I have one color static, and with the plus and minus button I can scroll through 2 color static, 3 color static, 4 color static, 1 color fade, 2 color fade, 3 color fade, 4 color fade, and so on and so on. There are 20 pre-programmed programs into this remote control. Okay, and we go to fire, rotor split 2, rotor split 4 is the end. If I hold down the minus button, it would take me all the way to the first program, which is 1 color static. Now 1 color static, in order to change the color, we would go ahead and press C1 and use our plus and minus to change the color. So right now we're in red. We just changed to orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, magenta, pink, white warm, white cold, and then we black out, and then we also have index colors. Index colors coincide with the Roscoe color chart. So if you have a Roscoe color gel chart and we go to index color and we hit enter, we can choose the number here and go ahead and choose whatever color gel we like in the color spectrum on the Roscoe color chart. Then our next is our custom color, and we can adjust our red channel, we can adjust our green channel, we can adjust the blue channel, and color mix right here on the fly. But what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to go into our red. So right there, we just adjusted red, green, orange, all the way through the spectrum. I'm going to go back to red here, and we're going to hit our program button. And the next program will be a 2-color static. If you can see, the lights are adjusted into 2 colors, and the next program would be 3 colors, and then 4 colors. If you could see here on the remote, you'll notice that when we're in a 4-color static, we have C1, C2, C3, and C4 active. So if I choose C1 is red, we're going to change that, and we're going to make it yellow. C2 we're going to change, and we're going to go from blue to, say, magenta. C3, we're going to make it a white cold, and then C4, we're going to make this a blue. So if you can see the lights, they were actually separated into 4 different colors. And those colors also coincide here on my remote. As you can see, the top ones, C1, C2, C3, and C4, are all coinciding with what my lights are showing me. Now, the next thing we're going to do is hit the home button, and that was direct control. So if you ever want to control lights on the fly, you would go to home direct control. Now the next thing I would like to show you is our memory 1, which I hit the plus button. Memory 2, again, it's a party slow. Memory 3 is party heavy. And memory 4 is user defined. The next one would be our setup. So I'd like to scroll through to home and go to memory 1. Now if you can see here our white buttons where you see fade, speed, intensity, program, and the C1 through C4. If you see on the bottom right corner of these buttons, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through 8 on the bottom right corner of the white buttons. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how you can save pre-programs to the actual buttons. on the bottom, which are 1 through 8. So if I go ahead and I hold down button number 1, you see it says entering editor. It says editor active, save to key 1. This means whatever I choose, whatever I make my lights, once I like the speed, the color, the fade, the actual program, once I'm done, I will hit enter, and I would hit enter again. So for 2 times we would hit enter, and it would save it to our 1. Right now we have something saved, so we have 1, let's go back home, memory 1, decorative 1, we have 1 is red, decorative 2 is going through the color spectrum, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 being white. I'm going to go back to 1, which is red. Now, in order for me to manipulate red and save it to key 1, I would hold down key 1. You see that we enter the editor, and now I'm going to hit program, and we're going to go 1 color static. Let's go into 1 color fade. Now, the 1 color fade, as you can see, I'm going to move the remote away. The actual lights are changing colors, and they're fading from 1 color to the next. We're going from red to blue to pink and to yellow. But say I just wanted to use 2 colors. Say I wanted to go from blue to white. So what would I do is I would go ahead and choose my color 1, and we would make this white. There's 2 whites. There's a white cold and a white warm. I prefer cold. It's just it has more of a punch. Our next color would be color number 2, which is already at blue. We're going to leave it at blue. We're going to choose color 3, and we're going to make color 3 a white cold, and color 4, we're going to make that blue as well. And here we can manipulate our speed. So if I give it less time, it's going to change faster. If you can see the background changing, it's changing faster. We're going to give it less time, and the less time we give it, the faster it's going to be changing. You can see there, we're going to focus in on that, and it's changing faster from blue to white. Now, if I want to change it and I want to slow it down, I'm going to add more time over my timeline. So say I like, we'll go to 6.5 seconds. So it's going to take 6.5 seconds to go white, blue across the spectrum. And if you can see here, we have our colors coinciding. C1 is white, C2 is blue, C3 is white, and C4 is white, is blue as well. And what we'd like to do here is, once we're satisfied, right now I'm not really all that satisfied. I want to change it up a little and add another color. So we're going to go to C3, and we're going to make that red. We turn that into red. Now we're adding red into the whole scroll. So it's going to go from white, then it's going to go to blue, then red, and back to blue. But what we want to do here is C4, we're going to make a whole other color, and we're going to make it, say, I like green. We're going to make green has a nice contrast here. So right now, if we look at the lights in the background behind the remote, we see white, we see blue, then we see red, and then we see green. Now that's going to continuously change, and I can adjust my speed, I can hit the intensity, we can adjust the power scheme. We can adjust the fade. Say I don't want it to fade, I just want it to snap into colors. I would take the fade away, and now it's, if you see in the background, now it's just snapping into the color. It's just snapping right away. Now if I go into fade, I can adjust what my fade time is. I like to keep it at 100% depending on the program. Now I'm satisfied with what I have, saving it to key 1. I hit enter. You see it says save to key 1, and I hit enter again, and now it's saving. So now I go into my memory 1, decorative 1, and that's what we saved. We saved this program, which is a scrolling program. Now if I go and I click number 2, that's just a static color. Now if I want to go and I want to hold down 2, I'm going to enter the editor, and now whatever I save when I hit enter twice at the end is going to be what I selected. So let's go in here one more time. We're going to go into a flag running. Actually, we're going to go spiral 4 colors. So as you can see here, you see the video, it's spiraling into 4 separate colors. The colors here that I have chosen are orange, blue, pink, and yellow. Now, once I like that, maybe I want to adjust my speed. I want to make it go a little bit faster. So we're going to go to 6.5 just to make it a little bit faster. Now, once I like this program, I'm going to hit enter, and then you see it says save to key 2. I hit enter again, and it tells you that it's saving. So from here, I can go back to my number 1, which I saved, my number 2, which we just made, and then my number 3 is a static color, my number 4 is a static color, my number 5 is a static color, and so on and so on. The best advice is to play with the remote, get it user-friendly, and be able to control the fixtures any way you like. Now, once we go and we want to start over, we always hit the home button, okay? And we can go into our memory 1. That's memory 1. We have 8 different presets. So far, we saved 1 and 2. So if I go into memory 2, that is a whole other complete 8 pre-programs that I can make. And memory 3, memory 4, that means we have a total of 32 programs that we can save, and we can just recall it by recalling the memory bank and whatever we saved in our memory key 1 through 8. That is the quick start guide on setting up your remote and controlling all your fixtures. Thanks.